The United States Geological Survey says that the Northeast has been hit by a 4.8 magnitude earthquake.
It's pretty big.
4.8 is not nothing.
Yeah. So they report that the epicenter is White House Station in central New Jersey. Okay, we thought it was Lebanon. White House Station in central New Jersey. But the shaking could be felt in parts of New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, my friends in Philly.
Yeah, people
we're asking about it, Connecticut as well.
Across the Northeast. My sister in Rochester are saying that they felt it.
Wow.
If you just happen to look at, even in our internal email, producers and reporters at CBS News from across the Northeast are all weighing in and saying, what they felt.
Strange. We felt it here.
We felt it here in the newsroom.
Yeah.
And our Kris Van Cleave, our transportation correspondent, is going to join us now on the telephone. He's in Maryland, where recovery and cleanup efforts are continuing after the bridge.
In Baltimore there.
After that bridge collapse in Baltimore. But Kris, let's talk about this earthquake. Give us an update what you're hearing from sources as it relates to transportation in the Northeast, specifically airports and railway.
Yeah, well, New Jersey Transit says they're subject system-wide up to about 20-minute delays in both directions as they're doing bridge inspections following the earthquake. Newark Airport, JFK Airport have ground stops in effect. I don't expect that to be a terribly long-lasting ground stop, but the New York City airports are going to want to do some inspections. One, to make sure the buildings are structurally sound, and two, that there's no debris out on the tarmac or the runway. We saw a couple of weeks ago what happened when a United Jet engine ingested bubble wrap. Remember, we had that fire coming out of the engine there that made headlines. So you can imagine if bubble wrap can do that, what a piece of concrete or pavement might do to a jet engine. So it's not uncommon after an earthquake for an airport to pause operations to make sure the runways and the taxiways are intact, to make sure the buildings are structurally sound before they resume operations out of an abundance of caution. The good news here, you're talking about a 4.8 earthquake. That's certainly going to get people's attention, but tends to not be one that drives, substantial damage. But that also can. That also can depend a bit on where it was epicentered and whatnot. So right now you're going to see some travel disruptions getting in and out of New York, out of the airports. New Jersey Transit is doing bridge inspections. Those are the types of things that you would expect to happen after an earthquake like this, where they just want to make sure that things are structurally sound, that it's okay to continue operating safely.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Initially, when we felt it, it just sort of felt like a train almost going past.
Yeah,
I thought it was lower.
We first felt it rumbling, and we thought, that's weird.
Yeah.
And then we looked at each other,
It went on too long,
and then you started to look up at the lights, and they were kind of moving, and I realized we both did at the same moment, like, are we feeling an earthquake?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is an earthquake, you know? Did you feel it in Baltimore, Kris?
There are reports of people feeling it. I'm sitting in a car right now, waiting for the president's arrival. So we're outside of the closed area. I didn't feel it in the car. I can look at the USGS shake map, and there are people in this area that reported feeling it. People as far south as Washington D.C. reported feeling it. I was in Washington for the D.C. earthquake, which was a similar strength, and you certainly, if you're near the epicenter of this earthquake, you're going to feel it. You're going to hear it. It might sound like a truck backing up or the rumble of a train track. Northridge, when I was a kid, I remember that sounded like a freight train barreling at the house. So you're going to hear it in a lot of cases before you feel it. But there were some reports here in this area that did feel the shaking.
Yeah, one of our, so it's interesting. Anne-Marie and I were in the Studio 57. We certainly felt it, but one of our crew members was on a break outside and came back and said, what are you guys talking about? He didn't feel it outdoors at all. So I think if you were working out, if you're in New York City and you happen to be working outside, or you happen to be walking outside, or maybe even in the subway, you might not have felt it, because 4.8 in Jersey, it may not have actually registered the same here in New York City.
Well,
and
I guess
Vlad, if I can jump in for a second, sorry to interrupt you here. We just heard from the FAA. The FAA says that this 4.8 magnitude earthquake in New Jersey may continue to impact some air traffic control facilities in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Baltimore.
air traffic operations are resuming as quickly as possible. And of course, we're tracking those delays. If you're in an air traffic control tower, the LaGuardia Tower is 233 feet tall. You're going to want to make sure that's structurally sound before you keep people in it. So that sort of assessment is happening at ATC facilities and at the airports. So for some period of time today, we're going to see some delays in and out of the Northeast out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah,
So
and what about the situation
that should start to taper as the day goes on.
I wonder what the situation is in
ironically,
Philadelphia, too, because it just, what you're mentioning, Kris, are a lot of hubs. And so if we're talking about hubs being affected, there could be a ripple effect. So even if you're not in the Northeast and you're traveling today, you might, of course, Kris knows better than me, but you might just want to keep track of your flight.
Well, ironically, I am texting with a college friend of mine who happens to be a pilot who is flying into New York City as he's, flying in right now. And he's saying that he's hearing that there is some delay.
Yeah.
I think he's flying into LaGuardia, and I just texted him and I said, "What are you hearing?" So far, he's flying in from Florida. So I don't know, Kris, what happens when you're in the air and those delays start to accumulate. Do planes come in, or do they get, do they have to circle around? I mean, right now, he's thinking that it's okay, but who knows?
Yeah, so typically what you're going to do, the airport can get an operations vehicle out on the runway pretty quickly, and they'll assess the condition of the runway, and they may pause traffic for some period of time while there are people operating on the runway. And that's basically you're going to drive up and down the runway and make sure it's clear of debris. And then you would want to resume your arrivals. Planes have more fuel on board than they need to make the trip. So it is certainly possible that some flights will circle for a bit. They would call that, put them into like a delay pattern where they sort of circle the airport. We've all sort of been on one of those flights, I think, where you're doing loops around the airport for some period of time, usually due to weather. So you may see some of that. They'll look to get the planes that are in the air and arriving on the ground first. Looks like that JFK and Newark are primarily they'll look to hold departures before they leave the originating airport. So if you're flying from Fort Lauderdale in the next half hour, for example, you may end up seeing a delay just because they don't want to put the plane in the air until they know it can land. They'll get the planes that are in the air on the ground safely, typically. It doesn't sound like this is going to be something where they're going to be diverting a lot of airplanes and whatnot. And then they may hold flights at the gates in Newark and JFK just until they make sure that everything is safe to operate.
And just to let everyone know, the mayor of New York City, Mayor Adams, he's going to be holding a press briefing at noon. And just getting an update about the Holland Tunnel here in New York. Early inspection at the Holland Tunnel to New Jersey is clear. All lanes are open, which is good because there's a lot of train traffic that goes in and out there.
Yeah. And Kris, you may not have seen this because you're awaiting President Biden's arrival, but there was a very sort of cute and humorous tweet from the people who run the Empire State Building Twitter account. It said in all caps, "We are okay." All right, Kris, we're going to let you get back to the business at hand, which is, of course, awaiting President Biden's arrival, where he is there to assess the recovery and the damage control that is happening in terms of rebuilding that bridge, reopening the ports of Baltimore. So we'll let you get to that. Thank you very much for spending.
Hey, Vlad, real quick.
Yeah.
It looks like the ground stop at JFK is being lifted, so you're looking at a ground stop still at Newark. So that's what I mean. These things will taper here as we go on, and so you may
my
see some
buddy
delays. I don't
just
think this will be a
texted
big
that
cancel maker.
he's in the air already, so everybody who's in the air is still, as of now, he says, still heading to LaGuardia. So we'll see what happens.
So hopefully it all works out. Thanks a lot,
Kris, thank you very much, my friend.